Matteo Messina Denaro is a 60 years old man from Sicily, and he has actually been convicted in Italy for several murders and what we can say bomb attacks during the 90s in Italy. So convicted, not even suspected of, because our law allows for that.
How did he manage to escape capture for so long?
Well, it is not unusual for major boss in Cosa Nostra to be fugitive for many years. This happened for the predecessors like Salvatore Riina and Bernardo Provenzano. He probably relied on an extensive network of contacts ranging from his own family members to, of course, Cosa Nostra members and other acquaintances that are somehow sympathizers of Cosa Nostra. So he was probably traveling around Europe also for medical reasons, but then we expect also that he spent a lot of the time in his own area in Sicily.
And how did authorities finally manage to track him down, and how did his arrest unfold?
Well, that was something that we just starting to learn about the details. Apparently, the authorities had already learned that Mr. Denaro, Matteo Messina Denaro, was sick and seriously sick, and he needed medical attention. And therefore, they wiretapped the conversation of some of his family members and acquaintances that were always speaking in code. And they managed to decrypt this code and understand that he was looking for treatment for something like a cancer. And therefore, the authorities actually scanned all possible profile of patients that met the description of an adult man of 60 years old looking for cancer treatment. And then they found that one name sounded like strange because it was the nephew of a former police suspect. And it turned out that this person was actually Matteo Messina Denaro, was using the name of this other person as a cover. And therefore, the investigation started. They learned that he was attending a specific day. He had an appointment for a specific day at this clinic, and then they arrested him at the clinic.
And onlookers started to cheer, I understand, when they realised who had been arrested. How will Italians be reacting right now?
I think that Italians reacted very positively. This is a huge success for the Italian criminal justice system and for the country against Cosa Nostra. And of course, then all kind of reasoning and speculation sometimes started to go around whether this was a planned way to give him some hope because he was sick and needed treatment, or was he planning to exchange something in return for his turning up to the police. But these are of course speculations at the moment. We don't know, and it looks like a splendid success from our criminal justice system.
And what has the newly installed Prime Minister had to say about the arrest and the government's efforts to tackle organised crime?
Well, to be true, I think we should be honest in saying that all governments in Italy since the 90s have devoted strong efforts to fight the mafias, and not to forget also that most of the criminal justice system in Italy is run by the prosecutor service, and therefore the government and the prosecution are quite independent and sometimes even clashing. So the Prime Minister was very supportive. She celebrated this achievement as a great success. She renewed the government commitment against all kinds of mafias.
And what will happen to Matteo Messina Denaro now?
Well, he's currently detained in an undisclosed facility for security reasons. He's still subject to several trials because he was convicted for many trials, but still other trials are ongoing for his past actions. He will probably be invited to attend if he wants to. It's very hard to wonder whether he will decide to speak and talk about his experience and what he knows, given that he's apparently very ill, he's a senior citizen, and it's quite unlikely that even collaborating with the authorities will allow him to escape prison.
And Francesco, while this is a significant arrest, it certainly doesn't mark the demise of the Sicilian Mafia that he allegedly headed, does it?
No, you're right. At the same time, he was certainly the most famous member of the Cosa Nostra still at large. It was certainly a symbol of the capacity of Cosa Nostra to escape the authorities for over 30 years. At the same time, as many commentators said, he was given his fugitive status and probably his health condition. He was not the only one ruling Cosa Nostra these days. And at the same time, it must be acknowledged that after more than 30 years of state efforts and criminal justice reaction, Cosa Nostra is seriously weakened, and there are several signals of crisis and difficulties within the organization, which is, of course, something that most Italians rejoice about.
Well, Francesco Calderoni, thanks for shedding light on this important story in Italy.
Thanks to you.